Okay, this is now the 5 minute tarot for the 9th of April 2017. And I started this series 3 months ago, 9th of January. So this is a 90 something video in a row. Okay, so today's card is the Star. And if you look at it, we've got this woman and she's got a cup in either hand and she's pouring water or some kind of fluid from there. And I couldn't help but think, this is partly because people have asked about combining cards. And if you think about the Temperance card, we've got an angel. The angel also has two cups, but with the cups in the Temperance card is completing the circle, right? Whereas in the Star card, she's pouring out. So maybe we can get some better understanding of both cards by considering them together. And so just focusing on part of the whole picture, because with the Temperance, you can think it's an angel, whereas the Star is a person, right? But we're not going to think, we're leaving that for the time being. And I'd like it in this video to look at or consider only the cups and what's going on with the cups. Because in the Temperance card, there's some kind of flow between the two cups, as if with Temperance you're dealing with a closed group that can be important in some way to do with the question and or the answer, right? So you've got, because the whatever is in the cups is making its way to the other cup, you're closing the circle. And so if you relate the idea of closing the circle to the question that has been asked, then maybe what we do is with the Temperance card, it's about the benefits of or the advantages of a closed meeting, right? You close things. Or maybe what you do with the Temperance card is you've got the idea that there's a team, there's a group of people or a bunch of people, and they're all on the same page. You've got a closed circle. Right, and so you've got maybe it's a trust building conference or a trust building weekend, because some companies will take a group of people and they'll go off to a cabin in the woods for a long weekend, and they'll get involved, and so they get to know each other better, so they know that they can trust each other more. And that could be the kind of activity that's shown by the Temperance card. Closed meetings, private meetings as well, so that you don't want strangers. And maybe Temperance reversed is an indication that somebody who doesn't belong is actually there, right? Instead of it being a private meeting, in some ways somebody has got in who shouldn't be there. So we've got the idea with the Temperance card of closure and completing the circle, and maybe it's self-protective as well, right? Because you're gathering in. Maybe it reminds me a little bit of the fellow in the Four of Pentacles who's holding the cup like this, or holding the coin like in a circle. So we've got the Temperance card as well, with the idea of completion and maybe protection and that kind of thing. Whereas with the Star, it's the opposite, or it's different, because with the Star we've got we've got two cups, but one is pouring into the water and one is pouring onto the earth. So we've got when the Temperance card can be closed and private, with the Star you're dealing with a situation that's more open, right? You've got, or it's maybe what we've got with the Temperance card is fixity, whereas the Star is flexible, where you're dealing with more than one thing, maybe with more than one group or one product or one company or one individual, because we've got one cup dealing with the water over here and the other cup dealing with the land over here. So you've got more than one player or more than one group or more than one type of group or more than one type of activity. And the person holding the cups is able to deal well with both, with two types of people or with both groups. And maybe what you've got is with the Star card, there's involvement with other people, whereas there isn't to the same extent with Temperance. Or maybe the Star card is involvement with strangers, or with a wider variety of people than you get with the Temperance card. So I'm saying this with the 2 cups and the Star card, but I'm not saying that you always say the same thing for every question every time the Star comes up. But what you can do is the reader can respond to what the questioner is saying based on what's shown by the card. Right, so let's say the Star comes up for the future, and the questioner says, "Okay, well, I'm thinking about having this private meeting between me and these 2 other people." You, the reader, look at the card and the Star card and see the 2 cups separate, and you say, "Are you sure that a private meeting is a good idea?" Because with a private meeting, you may get the same old stuff or the same old ideas, same old suggestions. Whereas the Star card shows 2 cups, but they're in different areas. So maybe what it's telling you is or pointing out the advantages of getting new input, or getting input from a different individual or a different group or from a different point of view. Or maybe what you want or what's valuable is to get new ideas, and you would get that with an open meeting more so than you get with a closed meeting. So again, you're responding to what the person says, not just answering the question, but if they have comments or follow-ups or observations that they're making in the light of what you're telling them for the reading, remember to keep your eyes on the cards that have come up and respond to what they say based on what is shown in cards. So if you notice something, then speak about it, because you may, with the Star card, notice the mountains in the background, and so that can be an indication that the goal is a long way off, right? So don't act as if it's going to happen tomorrow. But again, you don't always say, you don't always talk about the goal being a long way away with every question and every time that the Star card comes up. It's what you, the reader, notice. So if you turn the card and immediately spot the mountain or wonder about the mountain, talk about the goal and how far away it is and how you're going to live between now and achieving the goal. Whereas if you happen to notice the cups, you talk about the cups and the fact that they're open. And so the requirement can be variety and flexibility rather than being closed. Okay, that was it for the moment. Thank you very much. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.